All right, did I just get debated? No, we got a new already. It feels like it's been a week since the last Banlist. Konami actually caring about Master Duel. They're like, all right, we released Raid's World to Duel Links. Everyone's going to Duel Links now. We got to get people back into Master Duels. All right, let's take a look what we got. Expected date October 28th, which is in less than 2 weeks from now, where it'll be implemented. Okay, we're just going straight into it. So, Sword Soul Strategist Long Gone. So there's nothing banned. There's nothing limited. There's just straight to semi-limits, and it looks like we have lifts from limitations. So, Long Gone, Sword Soul Strategist Long Gone is going to be limited from being unlimited to hit to 2. Brendan opening is hit to 2 as well. Flunderies and the Magnificent Tilt is also limited to 2. They're like, ah, shit, people are complaining about the birds already. Are we gonna hit the barrier statue? Nah, just hit the map to 2. They'll get ready for when we hit it to 1 anyway. Okay, so cards from which the limited number of copies will be limited. Pray Kids, Roxy's, yeah, about time. Thank you. Skystriker, Mecha, Widow Anchor, Unlimited, the Phantom Knights of Tord Scales, Virtual World, Master Roshi, all unlimited. Okay, so they saw that the first tier decks from like when Master Duel came out aren't really pulling their weight anymore. So Roxy's, which is just there for Emancipator's sake anyway, is rightfully unlimited. Widow Anchor is actually really insane unlimited for Skystrikers. I mean, they haven't really been making an much of an impact on the meta, but damn, 3 Widow Anchors kind of cracked. Tord Scales at 3 is interesting. I mean, now that the adventure package has been a little nerfed, you haven't been seeing as much of it, but this is the best deck to be able to access it if they don't draw the adventure engine. And Virtual World, we haven't really been seeing it just because the lack of an end board that like even remotely equals the oppression that something like VFD had wasn't really found. But I know people have been playing with like adventure package and like Scythe and Fairy Tale Snow, and it's like a deck still, so they may as well get this back. It's more than reasonable. So did we get any ultra rares here that were like limited? No, right? Of course not. Everything here is not an ultra rare because it's Konami. They would never give us any URCP back. I'm kind of grateful at the fact that they did this list have to just like unlimited some things. I was kind of hoping to see Multifaker and Gazelle in here as well, especially like with the release of the Salmon Grade Structure deck. I think that would have been really good. I feel like Long Gone to 2, I mean, Sword Soul is a really good deck. Brendan opening is really good as well. They clearly just put this in here because, you know, Brendan Fusion is an ultra rare and F that noise. But I feel like this is going to be like a very light tap on the shoulders for both Sword Soul as well as Brendan. And even Map being hit, it's like how much of an impact this has versus how much of an impact getting 3 copies of Advent is just nowhere like near in terms of like the equivalent. So like it's now not going to be as consistent as when it had the 3rd copy of Map plus the 3 Advent, but it basically effectively has 5 copies of Advent now instead of 6, which is still really strong. It's still really consistent, plus the other things that Advent can help search for. So I think this is really just for all these decks, just a really light tap on the wrist, or however you want to say it. I generally feel like surprised that it came so soon, but I guess they wanted to say that, hey, we know that these are very strong decks, so we want you to know we're thinking about you, but we're not thinking about you that much. So, I mean, it's a slight consistency hit, nothing crazy, but the meta isn't as crazy as it was last season with like the Alcarodon everywhere, that it doesn't, even though you see a lot of Brendan everywhere, a lot of Sword Soul, and even Flu's coming up in terms of like its power level, it still doesn't feel like the same level of just oppression, even though they are still very much higher in terms of power level compared to like a lot of other decks. I really wish they let us have Multifaker back at 3 though, just because I really like playing Altergeist, and I feel like they're more than suitable to have that at 3 now. I feel like I'm always going to complain about Maxi being this game, but I know people are going to say, well, it's based on OCG, it's always going to be here, and just stop complaining, and nobody in the OCG complains yet. Well, fuck you, I have an opinion, and I dislike yours. So I guess that's the balance.